Welcome to Rocky Hill War Memorial Tower. The War Memorial Tower is a monument to honor Goulburn and district's community members who served in the Great War between 1914 and 1918. This was a momentous event in Australia's collective experience and memory. The memorial reflects the search for an appropriate way of expressing grief and is a record of fashion, political, social, and community attitudes of the time. The tower is a conscious statement of social meaning and the community's need and desire to commemorate not only those who died, but also those who served in that war and the community members more broadly affected by that war. Rocky Hill Memorial Tower and Museum respectfully acknowledges the first peoples of the land on which we stand. We honor their ancestors, elders, and communities. We also acknowledge and pay respects to elders and communities both past, present, and of all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Prior to the 1820s, the Mulwari Ponds, Plains, and the Wollondilly River provided native game and fish for the first peoples of this region. European colonization of the region had a devastating impact on the local indigenous population. By this time, local wars and introduced diseases such as smallpox, influenza, and measles killed many, while others were scarred for life. Settlers' farms and cultivation in the region on cleared land and formerly open forest disrupted traditional practices and ways of life. In the Ngunnawal language, Rocky Hill is known as Goon Garland, meaning small rocky hill. According to reports in continuing knowledge systems, Rocky Hill was a significant meeting and gathering place for the first peoples of this region. Rocky Hill is known as a man's place, where ceremonies, corroborees, and initiations took place. 2 stone borer rings were once visible at this location, although by 1926 the larger one had been partially destroyed by a road. It is likely that there may be burials in the vicinity. The tower stands 20 meters tall and was opened on the 15th of December 1925. Sponsored by the community, it's an enduring testament to the design and construction skills of renowned local architects E.C. Manfred and H.C. Manfred, engineer A.S. MacDonald, builder H.E. Ibbotson, and to those who built it. Also, Dame Mary Gilmore is remembered as being influential in the memorial site selection, and W.J. Bartlett, a local citizen who made arrangement to purchase the Rocky Hill and gifted the land to the people of Goulburn for all time. The memorial tower is constructed on concrete and clad in local rock and stone, carried to the site by local residents and returned servicemen as part of Anzac Day commemorations in 1923. The foundation stone and other commemorative plaques are mounted along the southern side of the tower's base. The stone tablet inscribed with the building constructor's name is built into the eastern wall of the tower. The external face of the tower has been laid to emulate dry stone walling or a heavily weathered ancient stone structure. The tower entrance is located on the southern facade and retains its original wrought iron doors and granite memorial stone above. Behind the doors in the entrance is a visible marble roll of honor, forever bearing the names of those from the Goulburn district who had served in the Great War. This was installed on the 11th of November 1926. It serves as a stark reminder of the impact that the First World War still holds on Goulburn and its surrounds. Looking at the honor roll, you'll find a rare feature in any World War I memorial: a female name, Mary Bartlett. She was known as the Friend of the Diggers. The plaque, installed in 1937, recognizes Mary's personal and direct charitable works, such as providing care packages to lonely soldiers, organizing luncheons, and fundraising dinners during and after World War I. The state executive of the RSL awarded Mary Bartlett an Order of Merit for her unrelenting work for returning servicemen and their families. Also, on this level and facing the entrance is a rock-faced stone with an electric eternal flame. A bronze rail surrounds the stone and flame on 3 sides, and a timber board bearing gilt-painted signage reads RAN for the Royal Australian Navy and AFC for the Australian Flying Corps, as well as Lest We Forget. The crypt, which was originally designed as the museum space, is no longer in use following the conversion of the former caretaker's cottage into the museum in 2000. On the walls, starting at the bottom and working their way up the stairs, are the W.J. Bartlett photographic prints. These are displayed in glazed black timber frames originally installed in 1927. They tell the story of the first Australian Imperial Force troops leaving home for the front, the training camps in Egypt, the ill-fated Gallipoli campaign, the Australian light horse operations, the troops on the Western Front, and then concludes with the triumphant Allied and British Empire Victory March in London in July 1919, marking the signing of the Versailles Treaty. The viewing platform at the top of the tower provides a spectacular view over the inland city of Goulburn and surrounding areas. What started as a small museum in the tower's basement crypt in 1927 has grown over time. In 1999, the entire collection was moved into the repurposed on-site caretaker's cottage. This building was constructed in 1935 and was originally designed to provide both living accommodation for a full-time caretaker and a refreshment room. Since 2000, the cottage has operated as a museum and continues to house part of the collection. The new adjacent museum then opened in June 2020. We are privileged to house and care for a collection of around 2,500 objects, initially based on gifts by the New South Wales State Trophy Committee and the Australian War Memorial. The collection has expanded since with targeted acquisitions and kind donations from the public from near and far, reflecting military conflicts in which Australia has participated. The collection is carefully and respectfully managed by the dedicated team of staff and volunteers. The Rocky Hill War Memorial is a treasured landmark in our community and it has become iconic, symbolizing Goulburn as a city. It is also a stark reminder of the horror of armed combat and unprecedented sacrifices. The courage and selflessness of people in time of war has ensured enduring freedom. Their legacy has been passed to us, lest we forget.